Whenever people talk about horror anthology series, a few names come to mind. The Twilight Zone, Night Visions, The Night Gallery. But surprisingly, most people remember children's horror anthology series. Yeah, made for kids my foot. To this day, some episodes of shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, and Creeped Out are still considered disturbing no matter how long ago people have watched them. And when you talk about such anthologies, you just know that someone will mention the haunting hour at some point. This show was praised for being similar to Goosebumps, but with a darker tone and more intimidating monsters and villains. Oh, unlike Goosebumps, it's also based on books by RL Stine. Well, two actually: Nightmare Hour and The Haunting Hour, chosen in the dead of night. However, some episodes are also based on short stories by other authors, or even classics. With a total of 4 seasons and 76 episodes, including the two-part ones, you think, well, at least some of those episodes have to be good, right? Oh, trust me, we have more than some. In fact, there are so many great episodes that I decided to do a top 12 rather than a top 10. Hey, my channel, my rules. So here are my top 12 best episodes of The Haunting Hour. Number 12. Many times, adults tell children to not pick up things they found in the trash. There is especially great advice when you live in a horror story.
You found that? In the garbage.
This is part of why I love the girl in the painting, even if it can be a little weaker than some of the other episodes. I just love stories about haunted or cursed objects, okay? A little girl, Becky, finds a painting in the trash and, not being one to waste something so beautiful, takes it home and becomes kind of obsessed with it.
It has to go.
You can't! Don't take her away from me!
You know, now that I think about it, this show has a lot of stories about kids becoming obsessed with stuff. We have kids obsessed with ice cream, dolls, and yeah, even a painting. But of course, Beck turns out to be right about the painting being special. She does get to go inside it as she always wanted, only things aren't quite what she imagined. While she's all excited about how pretty everything is and happy to meet the girl in the painting, we get a little twist. There's a monster outside the house. The girl attracts people into the painting in order to feed them to the creature. Not because she's evil or because she wants to, but as this lady says, it's just the way things work in their world.
It's just the way our world is painted. It's us or them.
So the girl resumes her original position, waiting for the next person to be turned into Monster Kibble. You see, this is what feels out of place to me. I get the whole things aren't always what they seem and be careful what you wish for. Beck's own mother spells that out.
Things aren't always the way they seem to us from the outside.
But out of all the ways they could go with that, it just feels weird that they went with boom, random monster. I thought they would go with the classic route and Beck would end up stuck in the painting, unable to truly enjoy the stuff she was admiring, or that there would be some detail in the painting that she ignored because she was focused on the pretty things. And no, the monster's eye appearing on the window when she isn't looking doesn't count. Yeah, even that feels kinda random. But even so, I still love this episode. The acting is great and, like I said, I love horror stories about mysterious or haunted objects. Seeing Becky get more and more obsessed with this painting, to the point that she tries to rearrange her room in the middle of the night to try and make it look more like the one in the painting, is pretty cool. So yeah, despite the flaws, this episode remains a personal favorite of mine. It's still a good story about wishing you had someone else's life. And as they say,
Careful what you wish for. You might get it.
Number 11. People say that everything has its price. But, like my credit card bills, this episode shows that sometimes the price is way higher than you think.
I'm in love with this dress.
I was actually unsure whether to put this episode on this list because while it has a good idea and a hell of an ending, it also feels a bit disconnected in a way. But I decided that, hey, screw it. It was one of the first The Haunting Hour episodes I ever watched, and it's still one of my favorites. Besides, it has a creepy shop in it.
Everything for sale was once someone's precious possession.
This episode gets points just for that. We have this girl, Jamie, who stumbles across this cute little shop one day, and she really wants this red dress, which happens to be a little out of her budget.
How much is it?
$400.
Oh, take my liver while you're at it, why don't you? Of course, James ends up stealing the dress. But as the shop owner said, everyone must pay for the things they want. Since Jamie didn't pay in cash, she must pay with something else.
I can't see. I can't see.
Then we see the shop owner with Jamie's glasses, with her vision fully restored.
What the hell is that?
You see, with how the shop owner spoke about how everyone must pay and how everything she has for sale was once precious to someone, I expected Jamie to suffer some consequence connected to those themes. Maybe the dress would rot her skin, maybe something she considered of value would suffer, the whole equivalent exchange deal. So the episode loses some of its strength because of that. But I still love it. The tone and the acting make up for the weak points. And again, the ending is awesome.
I can't see. I can't see.
Damn, that's creepy. Number 10. Children's TV shows can be so nice, right? They teach kids about numbers, colors, being nice to others. And some are so kind that they even get rid of bad older brothers. Okay, for those of you who are saying, but Midnight, that's not a scary episode. No one's saying that. First off, it's Dr. Midnight. Thank you. Second, yeah, I know it's not scary, but I never said this was a top scariest episodes, did I? And while this episode might not be that creepy, it's pretty insane. In fact, it might even be the most insane one in the series. And that's why I love it. We have two siblings, Jared and Cynthia. Jared is, well, a less than loving older brother.
And Mom said I was getting a dog, but instead I got you, so...
You're mean.
And Cynthia is a big fan of this children's TV show, The Uncle Howie Show. So, what happens when Jared decides to leave his little sister alone and sneak out while their mother is working late? Oh, Uncle Howie just suddenly appears in his house and starts to torment Jared with some Looney Tunes-like slapstick. Yeah, that sounds normal to me. You can just tell that he's having the time of his life messing with this kid. And he isn't the innocent TV show host that he pretends to be. Tom Kenny plays this character with such energy that it's hard to not like him. Now, of course this episode could have been way scarier. There's a lot of potential in the idea of a children's TV show that is more than it seems, with its host torturing the main character in some way. You can keep a zany tone while mixing with a subtle feeling of an actual threat. Sure, it gets a little creepy at times, but it never seems to go all the way, you know? We have dolls trying to replace people, children turning into monsters, children fed to monsters, and an ice cream truck that kidnaps people. The series is not exactly playing safe anyway. So, yes, Uncle Howie is lots of fun, even if it's not that scary. Well, Not that scary, except in the ending.
My new bestest best friend in the whole world.
Hi, everybody.
On one hand, I should not be surprised. On another, what the hell was that? Number 9. Everyone knows you should always be kind to your friends, even if they are small, creepy, and have an exoskeleton.
Come!
The plot for this episode is pretty simple. It follows a boy named Norman, who discovers he has a very special gift. Tired of being pushed around, Norman decides to use this gift against his bully. No, his isn't the male version of Carrie White. Norman can control / talk to bugs. And I'm out. No, seriously, get the hell away from me with those creepy things. At first, Norman is just happy with this mysterious gift and those little bugs, and okay, we know where this is going, right?
I'm bigger than you, and I would never pick on you.
5 minutes later.
I can crush you. Like a bug.
Yep. Norman goes a little mad with the power and the whole Lord of the Bugs stuff. And the bugs aren't very happy with that. So, okay, what are you going to do about it?
No, no, no. No.
Well, that's unpleasant. And by that I mean, oh my god, kill them with fire! It's pretty straightforward, but also really enjoyable. Everything flows naturally, and we have time between Norman finding out that he can talk to bugs and acting like some mini dark overlord. So it doesn't feel like he just snapped out of the blue. Sure, you know from the start that Norman will end up drunk with power and do something to make the bugs turn against him. But that doesn't make it any less fun to watch it happen. Nor does it make the final scene any less disturbing. Speaking of the ending, it closes with a rather interesting quote from Norman's teacher about how bugs outnumber people easily, and it ever came down between bugs and humans, humans likely would be in a lot of trouble.
If it ever comes down to us or them, we surely don't stand a chance.
Well, guess it's better to stock up on bug spray then. Number 8. Some people will accept any deal to become famous. The problem with that is that they always forget to read the small print.
I want to be the most famous face on the planet.
Headshots heavily inspired by the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I think everyone must have at least heard about this novel, right? About a man whose portrait ages in his place and becomes uglier and uglier as it reflects his sins and evil. It's a great book, by the way. Now, this is an interesting modern take on this idea. A girl, Gracie, is offered the chance of a lifetime to become the teen model for a magazine. However, after she takes a headshot, her best friend, Lexi, notices some behavioral changes in Gracie. She becomes kind of toxic, she cheats on a test and lets her friend take the fall, and even sabotages another friend to take her out of the competition. Jeez. Look, I heard that the world of models is cutthroat, but come on. This episode has great pacing, with Lexi becoming uncomfortable with what's happening and Grace's behavior is slowly escalating, which is reflected by how her photo becomes worse over time. Now sure, those special effects aren't that impressive, and this is ironic considering how the portrait in Wilde's book is described. But the last scene makes up for that.
Guess who this is? It's me.
Damn, that looks great. Just like in the portrait of Dorian Gray, the photo itself has nothing to do with Grace's new behavior. This was just her real nature all along, as stated by the villain of the episode.
I can't change anyone. Gracie is who she has always been. on the inside.
That's such a good detail to keep from the source of inspiration, especially for a young audience. Some other series might have made Gracie more of a victim, like she was brainwashed or something. But here, they made clear that she really isn't as kind-hearted as her friends thought she was. Speaking of her friends, Lexi tries to save Gracie by deleting the headshot, but sadly, it doesn't work. Not because deleting the headshot is in the way, but because Grace is the only one who can do it.
The choice wasn't mine to make, it was Gracie's, and Gracie's alone.
A nice note about how in the end, Grace is the only one who can decide what truly matters to her, and is responsible for her own actions. Overall, this is a nice story about personal choices and how sometimes it takes just a push for someone to reveal the worst nature.
The choice is yours, Gracie. The choice has always been yours.
All it takes is a little push.
Number 7. We all know that craving to eat something very specific. But I sure hope no one ever gets to the point of this kid.
Creamy cold isn't just ice cream. It's the food of the gods. I'd like to dive into a giant tub of creamy cold and lick my way to the top.
Catching Cold is the type of episode that starts with a tone of, this is weird, then becomes unsettling, and then hits you in the face with a genuinely disturbing ending. Of course I love it. We have this kid, Marty, who becomes obsessed with ice cream. But not just any ice cream, oh no. It's a very special ice cream, creamy cold. And this isn't an ice cream that you find in just any shop. It's sold only by this also innocent looking ice cream truck that merely passes by the streets without ever stopping and that apparently other people can't see.
It came down the street yesterday. You didn't hear it?
Nuh-uh. We never saw a truck. We didn't believe him.
Oh, I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. Besides, there was another kid who used to talk about this very same ice cream truck. So we can't say that Marty is going all cray-cray. By the way, what happened to this kid?
One day he was there, and the next day, he was gone.
Well, that's a little upsetting. This episode does a great job with the themes of addiction and obsession. Right from the start, Marty already seems to be a little too fixated on the idea of this ice cream. And after the truck gives him a free sample, he can't think about anything else. Look at that, he's licking a drawing of the damn thing. So Marty makes it his mission to get more of this delicious ice cream. And don't you know it? His determination pays off. In the way that you'd expect from a horror story.
Until someone else catches you. Until then, it's all you can eat.
Yep. We start with the kid getting obsessed with ice cream and finish with him as a prisoner of this truck until someone else catches it, ensuring that the cycle never ends. I think this is probably one of the darkest endings in the series. And that's saying something because we have a lot of those. It's one of the reasons why The Haunting Hour stands out. Don't get me wrong, shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark also had some dark endings at times. But I don't think there were that many or that went to such lengths. The whole ending with Marty screaming, the missing kid now all grown up repeating all you can eat over and over, and the truck just driving away with Marty trapped inside. It's just disturbing. And that's why Catching Cold is a great and chilling episode. Number 6. Well, we can't have a horror anthology series without at least one episode about a creepy doll, can we? It's like a law or something.
I'd like you to meet Lily D.
Yes, this doll. This messed up, evil, creepy thing. She's one of the best villains in the entire series. Some of the initial stuff in Really You is what you would expect from this kind of horror story by now. Kid gets a doll, kid loves the doll, But the doll turns out to be more than it appears, and no one believes the kid until much later. Yeah, that sounds typical, right? But you know what always sets the stories apart, even when they seem to follow a certain pattern? The execution. And really you knows what's doing. It's not just about the doll being alive. We also see both the little girl, Lily, and her mother becoming almost obsessed with the doll. And I think the later is a bit tricky to pull off, so kudos to the episode for succeeding with it. Sure, we can accept a child acting like a doll is alive, but when it's a grown person, you have to be careful because there's always the risk of this looking ridiculous rather than sad or creepy.
Can you believe what I have to put up with? Why are you talking to a doll?
This episode has such a great tone and the build-up is amazing. Which of course leads to, well, this. Oh damn that part. Sure, we have seen stories where people get turned into dolls, but this has to be one of the best transformations, let alone for a TV series. And since the doll turns into Lily, we also get to see her trying to take Lily's place in the family and trying to throw Lily in the trash. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Of course, we have a happy ending and everything is fine, but I don't think viewers will forget this doll anytime soon. We also have a sequel episode where the doll is found by another girl, but I didn't find it nearly as good as this one.
She's the bad girl.
Number 5. We all know that, contrary to what the Disney Channel tells us, high school is not an easy magical time. And it's certainly hard enough without having to deal with a literal monster weirdly obsessed with being the school's mascot.
Ladies and germs, give it up for Big Yellow.
I admit, the first time that I heard about this episode, I didn't think it would be anything that special. In fact, I thought it would be kinda boring or silly. Then I watched it. And as with many things in life, I was proved wrong. Oh boy, there's a reason why people talk so much about this episode. This boy, Willie, is frustrated that high school is not being nearly the great experience that he thought it would be. Yeah kid, that's life for you. Just be thankful if you're not being bullied into lifelong depression. His school team also never wins any games, and Will is a firm believer that there is only one reason for this: the team's mascot, Big Yellow. Yeah, not the coach or the players, just this mascot.
I have a theory. You can judge a school based on its mascot.
So he and his friend Drake set out to replace Big Yellow. Only Big Yellow doesn't quite like the idea of retirement.
Look, it's nothing personal. Just business.
I'm pretty sure Big Yellow took that personally. Like, a lot. The kids host a trial to find a new mascot and Big Yellow tries to apply again, only to be rejected in favor of this guy dressed as a wolf. So what's the only thing to do? Get rid of the competition, of course. Willie tries to confront Big Yellow, and that's when we see that there's no one inside the suit. This thing here, yeah, it's alive. And we also get this lovely scene. Yep, Big Yellow straight up ate those kids. We get to see inside his stomach where Will and Wolf are screaming for help, covered in what's probably stomach acid, all Borderlands style. Damn! Even if we were expecting something along those lines, I don't think we were ready for, well, that. This episode is easily one of the best. Right from the start there's a mystery as the kids realize that no one truly knows who's wearing the suit, and it quickly evolves to an almost menacing tone Big Yellow becomes more threatening as it goes on, and it ends on a solid, disturbing note. Big Yellow might not be one of the best school mascots, but he is one of the best monsters in the haunting hour. Number 4. Some men dream of defying the laws of life and nature. Victor Frankenstein made a man out of corpse pieces and brought it to life. And this man brought to life the children of Jack-o'-lantern.
They're mine now. My pumpkin heads.
Pumpkinhead is said to have one of the scariest monsters in the show. And yeah, that checks out. In fact, seriously, this whole series has some of the best monsters in children horror anthologies. It's Halloween, but this town isn't in a very festive mood. No one is trick-or-treating, there's a curfew, and the school has organized an event in the building for safety reasons. The reason for all that is that some kids went missing last Halloween, and the town wants to prevent anything like that from happening this year. Oh yeah, that's a cheerful start. With all that going on, perhaps it's not a surprise that those 3 siblings think Halloween is not going to be exactly fun this year. The middle brother convinces the others to sneak into the weird pumpkin patch so they can steal a pumpkin to carve. Say the patch is also in the area where the kids went missing last year. Needless to say, this turns out to be a bad idea. The farmer finds them when the middle brother falls into a hole and tells them to go away, after acting like a creep.
Not quite ripe yet.
Yeah, that's normal. The kids leave but steal a pumpkin anyway, not realizing that they are being watched. Later that night, the brother is kidnapped. The younger brother and the sister think he just went back to the farm to prank the old man, so they go back there as well. Once there, the sister, being the oldest and responsible one, tells her younger brother to wait in the car. Alone. In this area where kids went missing. Sure, he'll be okay, right? Now, seriously, this last arc is amazing. The pumpkin patch looks so eerie, and there's such a creepy atmosphere while the sister walks around searching for the missing brother. All the growing tension from before reaches its peak and you just know that those kids are screwed. And of course, there are the pumpkin heads themselves. Oh god, those things are terrifying. It's no wonder they are considered one of the best monsters in the haunting hour. Just look at them. Oh, and if those things aren't enough... Yeah, the farmer chopped off the kids' heads, replaced them with pumpkins, and turned the kids' heads into pumpkins. And now it's the turn of the 3 siblings. This episode is great. I love the story, I love the atmosphere, and I love the monster design. I mean, look at those things. The rotting pumpkins they have for heads, the seeds that look like teeth, the dark skin like it's earth, and the vines around them. It's just amazing. The human heads slowly turning to pumpkins is also pure body horror, and I love it. Right from the moment those kids arrive on the farm for the first time, you know things will only get worse. Unlike in many other episodes, there's no happy ending. Everyone just dies. Well, almost everyone. You see, in the sequel, Return of the Pumpkinheads, we hear about a kid who ran from the farm and kept repeating the Pumpkinheads got them. It has been confirmed that this kid is the youngest brother, so at least he got away. He is probably traumatized for life, but hey, he is alive. Number 3. Summer camp. Always a nice place for kids, isn't it? Unless they have to deal with killers in masks. Or werewolves. Or friends going nuts. Or with a dream demon trying to murder them in their sleep. Why does anyone go to those places again?
This place wasn't my nightmare. I was in that cave. I looked up. It was hideous.
Another great monster episode, Dreamcatcher has excellent execution, a strong cast, and a very unique creature design. Our main character, Lisa, goes to summer camp, where she makes friends with another girl, Amelia. At first, it seems that their only problem will be the resident bully, Maggie. But they soon start to have strange nightmares. And since it is a horror story, if they get hurt in one of those dreams, they get hurt in real life. Yeah, it's sort like of a nightmare on Elm Street, but in a summer camp with younger kids rather than teens, and with, well, this. Oh my god, look at those eyes, this thing is creepy. The first time the Dreamcatcher appears in Lisa's dream is very unsettling. She knows there's something around, stalking her almost like an animal, but she cannot see it. Although the part with the laughing girls sort of ruins the mood, it's still a solid introduction to the monster. There's a growing foreboding sense as they have more nightmares, almost as if the Dreamcatcher is getting closer and closer to them each time. And everyone knows those girls won't be able to stay awake forever. And indeed, despite their attempts, they do fall asleep. The Dreamcatcher takes Amelia to a cave, presumably his lair to... well, I'm not sure, but I know it won't be for a tea party. Lisa goes to help her friend and is followed by Meg. Not that Meg wants to help. Oh no, she's actually perfectly fine leaving those two there to die. She just followed Lisa to steal her flashlight. But you know what they say about karma. When it seems that they are about to be killed off by the Dreamcatcher, Lisa's alarm clock starts to ring, waking her and Amelia up. But you see, Meg is sleeping in the mess hall, so the alarm doesn't wake her, which means she's a goner. Yeah, in case you haven't realized, the show is not afraid of killing kids. I'm already surprised that they got away with so much, including the Dreamcatcher because... seriously, just look at him. Yeah, this thing would give Freddy Krueger a run for his money.
If you were awake, I wouldn't be here.
Number 2. We mentioned that some objects are just perfect for horror stories. But it's not just objects. As they say in real estate, location, location, location. May the haunting hour interest you with this lovely place?
Maple Glen Asylum. Epic.
No, this has nothing to do with that horror movie. Some kids are watching a paranormal investigation show. While this girl, Haley, is open-minded about the existence of ghosts, her brother Teddy thinks it's all just a hoax. And he decides that they could make a fake video much better than this. And he will even post it online just to see how many people think it's real. Haley and their friend Sam decide that, hey, why not? And they make their own group of fake paranormal investigators.
Have you never seen a horror movie?
And where will they film this video? In an abandoned asylum that is said to be haunted by the ghosts of patients who died during a horrible fire years ago. At first, they are just trying to fake some creepy stuff, but it doesn't take long for the actual ghosts to start appearing. And they don't seem to be happy about the visitors. The kids decide that maybe this wasn't their best idea and try to leave, only for Ted to be captured by the ghost of a doctor. You see, the doctor in charge of the asylum wasn't exactly a nice, ethical man. The ghost patients were trying to protect them from this guy. The kids manage to find Teddy, but it's too late. He has been operated on and all he can say is lights out over and over again. This episode ends in full circle as another group of kids watch this video and decide that, hey, they can do something better.
Here we go again.
Lights Out is one of the scariest episodes if you ask me. Having the ghost patients actually wanting to protect the main characters is a nice touch. Especially since you kind of expect them to be trying to trap or hurt those kids in some way. The idea that those patients were so afraid of this doctor that they didn't even leave their rooms to escape a fire To me, drives home how dangerous he is. So, you feel the threat and you fear what he might do to those kids. The fact that he doesn't appear that much even helps it. This episode reminds me a lot of movies like Grave Encounters and Goldinyan Haunted Asylum, which are also two of my favorite horror movies of all time. And they managed to fit a great story into a relatively short time. A haunted asylum, a creepy atmosphere, and an evil ghost. What's not to love?
Those people are afraid and they're already dead? Shouldn't we be really afraid?
And the number one is... It seems that every children's horror anthology series has at least one episode that makes you ask, how is this made for kids? In the case of The Haunting Hour, it's an episode about the end of the world.
Leaning together.
Headpiece filled with straw.
Scarecrow is so good that it won awards, and it's easy to see why. I could honestly make an entire video just talking about it. This is the quiet type of horror story. No jump scares or struggle between the main character and the antagonist. Just a growing sense of dread that cannot be stopped. We start with this family who lives on a farm. One day, the brother, Bobby, and the sister, Jenny, go to a store in town. The friend who works there tells them that she is reading a poem, The Hollow Man by T.S. Eliot. As she tells them about it, a strange man comes in and talks about the poem, explaining how it's about the end of the world.
Oh, that's a lovely thought.
He admits that he doesn't know why people get so jumpy about the end of the world, as it would be peaceful and quiet. Yeah, right from the start you get a chilling feeling about this guy. Jenny comes across the man again later, and he gives her a scarecrow to help her with the birds that are eating her crops. But before she can get everything ready, the scarecrow disappears. Later that night, she and Bobby realize that everything is quiet. And this isn't in the sense of it being a quiet night. You know, all life near nature is so peaceful. No, I mean absolute silence. No birds, no insects, no sound whatsoever. But they do find the scarecrow the next day, and it's hung over the field. It's just there. A few moments later, Bobby gets a call from their friend, and she's scared out of her mind, saying that there is something wrong and that she has never felt anything like this before. And then she sees the scarecrow. Bobby goes to town, finding it completely empty. There are no people around, no animals, and everything is deadly silent. Over the phone, Jenny tells him that the scarecrow has disappeared once again. He tells her to run home and lock herself in, but once she's there, the scarecrow finds her. When Bobby gets home, Jenny has disappeared as well. His parents are also gone, and the TV only shows static, as if the entire world is, well, not there anymore. The man appears in the living room. He explains that this isn't anyone's fault. It's just something that was always meant to happen. Yet he needs someone to share this with. Someone else to witness the end. Once more, the man quotes the poem as we see the world, now completely empty. And as the episode ends, we see that Bobby has been turned into a scarecrow, now also a witness to the end of the world. Yes, I know there is an alternative ending, but I think this one is perfect. God, I love this episode. I don't think I ever expected something like that in a series that is supposedly meant for children. Sure, we had a lot of dark episodes before, but not like this. Scarecrow has a sense of bleakness and inevitability to it. It's not the sort of loud in-your-face horror. It's far subtler and existential. This episode also has some of the best writing in the whole series, such as when the friend tries to explain what she's feeling as she senses the ending approaching.
It's like everything is there and everything is nothing, and I hate it.
This is so much better than just having her say that she's afraid and sensing that something's about to happen. Instead, she tries to describe the feeling itself. It feels a lot creepier this way, as we see that whatever she's feeling is not something that she can put into words easily. And it makes sense. I don't think anyone would be able to truly describe how it feels to sense the end of the world approaching. The man is also an amazing character. He is always polite and soft-spoken, yet even when he's being friendly, you just know that there's something off about him. And it's not like he's a monster or a demon. We don't even know what he is, but we do know that he isn't doing this out of malice or to be evil. For all that we know, he isn't even in control of what's happening. He just happens to be meant to witness the end of the world. And as he say, he has just realized that he needs someone to witness with him. On a note, I love how they quote the Hollow Man's episode. It is a beautiful poem, and it adds to the atmosphere that they are going for here. Scarecrow is a great existential horror story that will certainly stay in the audience's mind for a long time.
This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
And that was my top best Haunting Hour episodes. I had lots of fun making it. Do you agree with this list, or do you think I left out some episode that should have made the cut? Tell me in the comments below, I would love to hear your thoughts. Now that I think about it, I think I might even talk more about the series in the future, perhaps even review some episodes. It is one of the best horror anthologies I've watched. There's a lot more to be said about some episodes, or even those that weren't mentioned in this list. Again, tell me what you think. Well guys, this is it for today's session. Thank you so much for joining me, subscribe if you liked the video, and I will see you all the next time.